Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome back to We Don't Know Toots, your most favorite, least educated music podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Steven Schultz. Joining me today is my co-host, Rob Schultz. Say what up, Rob.
What up, Rob?
Today on the docket, we're going over some musician artists, or that's not right. Musician actors. That's the word I'm
there
looking
we
for.
go. Musician artists.
First try. So we've got a list of our top musician artists. I don't know. Actors. Jeez.
Musician
great. Well,
artists, man. You're killing it.
That's going to be a problem the rest of the episode now. Guarantee I've already done it twice. So first of all, before we get into me and Rob listing our top 5 actors who are also musicians and musicians who are also actors, well, we were going to do the new Taylor Swift album, right?
Ugh.
And Rob, you can edit this out if you want, but
No,
I just have to
the people
rant
need to
about
hear
that
it.
album. I need to rant about that album because that was so horrible.
It was really awful.
I think I still had 5 or 6 songs left when me and Rob were texting each other going, are we really going to do this? Because it is
I was 3 songs in. I couldn't even get further than that.
It was just her whisper singing for the whole first half of the album, and then the exact same songs, but instead of her whisper singing, she just sang. But it was they were the most boring songs. It was just basically like someone talking with kind of music in the background. That's all it is.
Yep.
Oh man.
That's it. It was, and some of those lyrics were just, everyone's
So bad.
been making fun of them. Like, everyone's seen how bad some of these lyrics are. Like, yeah, I wish we could go back to the 1830s, but without all the racists. Like, you
Or
really
like
you really had to clarify. Like, we really thought you meant we wanted to all be racist. I'm really glad you clarified that. Thank you.
Yeah, or what was that opening lyric? I've got to look it up now. The opening lyric to the Florida one where it's like, all my friends smell like cigarettes or babies.
Yeah.
That was the first song or first line of that song.
Yeah. And then there's the one where it's like, I want to like, or something like, I want to finger you while your boys play Grand Theft Auto or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that one.
These tortured poets, man, they've got some stuff to say.
And my friends all smell like weed or little babies. What does that mean? Is that supposed to, like, is the little babies thing supposed to be insulting or good?
I don't know where she was going with that. That was tough. That was a tough listen.
It doesn't go with the song at all. It's you can beat the heat if you beat the charges too. They said I was a cheat. I guess it must be true. And all my friends smell like weed or little babies. And
It's
the
like
city
out of
reeks of
nowhere.
driving.
Like, had nothing to do with anything else she was saying.
She's like, you know how much I hate my friends? I'm about to put them all on blast right now. You all smell like weed or like little baby. Yeah.
Unfortunately, she is the exact definition of too big to fail.
Yeah.
Like, she just put out a hot pile of steaming garbage, and she's so insanely popular that the album is still doing record numbers.
Yeah,
and it's probably going to get a Grammy or Emmy or whatever it is that music gets, and it's going to beat out all these other deserving albums, and it's just ridiculous.
I just pulled up her Spotify, and it's got the top 5 most, like, her top 5 currently popular songs.
Right.
4 of the 5 are from this album, and they are in the 70 millions of listens, and then Fortnite is in 128 million.
That's
and
insane.
Then Cruel Summer is the only non-Tortured Poets album, and Cruel Summer has over 2 billion listens. Holy crap! But yeah, it's I'm not gonna deny that she's got some good songs. I've never really gone through and listened to her music, but I knew her popular songs, so I'm like, this album can't be too bad to listen to. Like, it's
like, I enjoy some Taylor Swift every once in a while. She's got some good songs, even outside of the popular ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely thought it was going to be an okay listen.
But I couldn't even finish it. It was me and Alyssa were listening to it while driving around. We couldn't. I'm like, we got back in the car, and I'm like, this sucks. I do not want to keep listening to this album. We were like dreading getting back in the car just because the album was bad. So I'm sorry, Taylor Swift fans, but you cannot convince me that is something you're going to be crying about after you just paid $2,000 for a ticket and you're cry screaming that song. It's just that's
dude,
so bad.
When the album, the day the album came out, I got one Taylor, like a Swiftie reel, like a girl sitting there talking about the new album or whatever. And I watched the whole thing because I was like, this is my algorithm, so it's going to cut to someone making fun of this girl or something.
Yeah.
And nope, it was an actual genuine Swiftie reel. And then so Instagram saw that I watched the whole thing. So it's like, oh, he likes this. So my reels for like a week were just that, just a bunch of Swiftie stuff. I was like, why? Leave me alone.
Oh man. Yeah. So that was, have you seen those? I see like TikToks of people who are like, just paid $500 to go to a Taylor Swift concert, and all I can hear is the girl next to me screaming, and it's just like,
yeah, that would
they're not even
insane.
trying to sing; they're just screaming lyrics.
Screaming it, bro.
It's oh my word! Like I get like being pumped to see your art. Like I've been down in the pit.
You're actively
music.
Ruining other people's experience.
Yeah, but if you're
like, we've been to concerts where someone right beside us was screaming the lyrics.
Yeah,
like I've had that happen before.
To some songs. But not for a whole set.
But like there's yell singing, and then there's just screeching. And people, I've been next to people that just screeched, and it just genuinely just ruins the experience. It's like, I didn't come here to hear you do that.
Yeah, it's like, was that an enjoyable concert for you? Like, you couldn't hear the music that was being played.
Yeah.
You're screaming. I can't hear music, like, because they're up in the stands. So, like, if I'm screaming, I have no clue what's going on the stage.
Yeah,
no way. Well, all right. I'll cut off my.
That's our last episode condensed into 5 minutes.
Yeah. So,
or what would have been.
Swifties, you can come at us. Like, I
honestly,
I will die on this hill. That was awful.
All engagement is good engagement.
Yeah, you've got to stop being biased. And I feel like I'm about as unbiased of an opinion as you can get towards Taylor Swift, because I'd never really listened to her music. I didn't have an opinion of her other than like the popular songs I knew that were okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was about as open-minded as you could be going into that. And like, if you think that's good music, then it's not even music. There's nothing that's good about it.
It's just
horrible lyrics, horrible music. All right. So
moving right along. So we're like you said, we are going to today's episode is actually going to be discussing actors, not artists, actors who also, that you didn't say it exactly right. They're known for acting, but also surprised they have a music career in one way or another. And when we didn't go like the obvious route, like we could have done like Ice Cube or anybody. My mind just went blank, like anybody else. But we tried to go a little off the beaten path, people that you probably know as actors, but probably didn't know that they were musicians as well. So,
well, I'll be honest, I've got people that are also, I've got one or two that are like, these are music people, but one I did not realize has a huge acting career, and the other has a pretty good acting career as well, but I know them more as musicians as well. So,
all right. Well, let's hear which one were you going to start out with?
All right, for my number one draft pick, I'm going to start off with someone who is a little more obvious, but has a good career in both, and honestly, one of my favorite actors, Will Smith. He's one of my all-time favorite actors. He's fantastic.
Okay, so you did go the obvious route then.
Sorry. Well, I think that's the only obvious actor that I took. The rest, I'm pretty proud of my list. So
I never really enjoyed his music, to be honest. Like, that's just I don't know. It's childish to me, I guess. Which I guess was his whole shtick. I guess it was like clean.
I think it's like, it's the kind of music you listen to, and it's like, do I actually like this because this is good music, or it's almost like meme? So like Miami, dude, I listen to that song so often. I feel like it's actually like, I enjoy Miami. That's one of the songs I have. And then Parents Just Don't Understand was one of those like super iconic songs of its time.
Yeah, it was.
And then and he also has Getting Jiggy with It was like that was like
that was the big one.
Yeah, people used that like into regular conversation, you know?
Right.
So like,
is Parents Just Don't Understand that one that in that Parks and Rec Cold Open where Leslie Knope does like the whole rap thing, and then Ron at the end, Ron's finally like, "So a man's on fire in Ramsey Park." Is that the same song?
I know it ends with Parents Just Don't Understand. I don't know if she actually raps the song, but I think it is. I think it's the actual song.
It might be. I guess I don't know the Will Smith song, but
yeah,
have to check that out.
I listened to it just to be sure that I was giving off accurate information, but I don't know. So, his music I don't think is bad. Like I also had Wild Wild West just because like the sound of it just kind of gives like that late 90s, early 2000s, like the music that was iconic and like a staple of that time. It fits right in with it. So
right.
I know like it's not kind of music that you like a lot, but yeah, I think it's.
I don't dislike it. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah. Well, that's my first one, but I think he's a solid point guard for my team, and
yeah.
He can really run the game. But fantastic actor. You know, I Am Legend as always will probably be forever my number one favorite zombie movie.
That's a great movie, yeah.
And then obviously Shark Tale as well.
That's the zenith of his career, honestly.
Yeah. So, and then Fresh Prince is pretty iconic TV, I'd say.
I've actually never watched it. I watched the spinoff Bel Air. I watched that, or like not spinoff, but like reboot.
Yeah, it's like not at all the same.
No, it is not. It's a little darker, more dramatic, and the acting was just, it was not good. It was not a good show, but I watched the whole season. So
yeah, but so pretty solid. Started his music duo with DJ Jazzy Jeff. That's actually who he wrote Parents Don't Understand with.
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yes.
All right.
He had Parents Don't Understand and the Ring My Bell. That was two of their big hits. That's where he like his first big hits came from, was with that.
Huh.
But yeah.
Was that one of the guys you were worried?
Song by him.
Was that one that you were worried I might have on my list?
Yeah.
But we are in the clear.
All right. Well, I'll let you go then and maybe take one of the ones I have.
So did you know Christopher Lee of Dracula fame, Star Wars as Count Dooku, Lord of the Rings as Saruman? Did you know he is a huge metal fan? And
I did
also
not know that.
wrote and produced his 2 albums. And they're like rock opera albums. And it's kind of like more of like a classic, like old school metal kind of sound to it. But like the rock operas, like you listen to them like you're listening to a story. So like I didn't necessarily have pick any one track to tell you listen to, but normally I'm not really like a big rock opera fan, but it was a fun listen to, mainly just because like he has such a cool voice. Like he has a voice made for what he did. So he did, and the music was actually really good. He was definitely a talented musician, but
nice.
Yeah, he had produced 2 rock opera albums. So if anyone listening, if rock operas are your thing, check out Count Dooku's metal albums.
That's crazy. Count Dooku just rock operaing it out of that.
Yeah, dude.
That's so funny.
He played all the instruments, wrote the songs, did the singing. It's pretty cool.
Do you think he's going on tour?
I think he's dead.
Anytime soon? Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, I'm not hoping he is, but
I mean, like as of like 2 years ago or something like that. Oh no,
well, good for
9 years ago apparently.
Oh yeah, see that makes sense.
So yeah, he's definitely
Star Wars takes a toll on the body.
Just the pressure of the fame.
I don't know if I've ever actually listened to a rock opera, like outside of.
I really don't think I had either.
Doesn't Todd write one in BoJack Horseman?
Yep.
But that's when I first got introduced to what even a rock opera was.
Right.
So, no, they couldn't make us slaves. All right. Solid pick, Rob. That is a deep cut for sure.
Yeah, I had no idea. That was a pleasant surprise.
All right. I'm going to do one that I am sure you know, but I know a lot of people don't know this. Mm-hmm. But Cindy Lou Who from the live-action Grinch, the best Christmas movie is the live-action Grinch, first of all.
It is, absolutely.
Taylor Michelle Momsen. That's her name. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know. I just know her as Cindy Lou. I didn't even know what her actual name was. I had to look her up. But I guess she obviously had that part as Cindy Lou who saved Christmas in The Grinch. So a pretty big part. And then was also on Gossip Girl for 5 years or something like that. So she had quite the acting career. And then what I was reading is she was the front man for the Pretty Reckless since its conception in 2009. So she started the band, I guess.
Front woman.
That means.
That means she's the lead singer.
Front them for the Pretty Reckless. But
she was the lead singer.
Yeah, I know. But because I was reading through it, and I guess she, she had been in, put into modeling when she was 2 years old by her parents, and
which is messed up.
Hasn't been out of that kind of life for her whole life then. So I'm like,
yeah,
man, going from being in modeling, acting as Cindy Lou Who, the cute little actress girl, and then going into this rock band, because I've been listening to their music more recently anyways, and so I'm
they've got some jams for sure.
Yeah, so I'm that really is it really gave me another BoJack Horseman reference, but Sarah Lynn vibes, where she was cute little Sarah Lynn, and then went to Prickly Muffin.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what it felt like, where it's I'm not this little kid controlled by my parents anymore. I'm a rock star. But her music is
that pipeline, good. Dude. That's the child actor pipeline.
Yeah, it really is. I've got another child actor on here, but they actually have a lot of good music. I was trying to go through and listen to her music for picking out my favorites, and I was trying not to make the top ones on Spotify my favorites, but those top ones are really good. So Death by Rock and Roll's up there. And I was trying not to put that in my top, but I'm it is a great song.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Make Me Wanna Die came up in my shuffle, and so I didn't know that there was their top song, but I had that saved in my playlist, and then I went to her Spotify. I was oh, this is apparently one of her tops. And then Heaven Knows is also one of her tops. That was the first one, because I hadn't really listened to the Pretty Reckless, but I always knew the name. And then Heaven Knows was in a playlist I was listening to. I was oh, that's
that was the one that got radio popular.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I really like 25 is one of the ones that wasn't in the top on Spotify, but that's actually a really good one. It's one of those songs, though, that's teases you every time you listen to a song. It makes it seem like it's just about to have a great breakdown and just start shredding, and then it's no, back to the slow, and then it builds up and then goes back to slow every time. So it kind of drives me crazy, but it's a good song. So Taylor Momsen, aka Cindy Lou Who. That's probably my shooting guard.
That was a good pick. I'm surprised I didn't think of that.
That was the one I was kind of curious if you had. Taylor Michelle Momsen, Le Moms. But so there you go. There you have it. My number 2 pick.
Good pick.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
This one you might know because I know you know the band, but I don't know if you knew that this guy was in it. Jason Schwartzman. Do you have him on your list?
No.
He plays Gideon in Scott Pilgrim, and he also voices the Spot in the newest Spider-Man movie, Spider-Verse movie.
Nice.
And it's obviously some other things, but he was one of the founding members and the drummer. He's no longer the drummer on this band, but he was a founding member and used to be the drummer for Phantom Planet.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
I've never really listened through Phantom Planet, but I have one or two of their songs in my playlist.
I know you know Dropped. Dropped was the one that only one that I knew by them. So if you're a fan of bands like Franz Ferdinand, OK Go, Motion City Soundtrack, kind of like that. Yeah, they had that very unique 2000s pop rock sound.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of music, you'll like Phantom Planet. But yeah, I was gonna recommend Dropped. And they all actually, when we started talking about doing this episode, they hadn't come out with anything in years. But as of 2 days ago now, they just released a new single called Drive On. And nice. It was actually it's definitely a different sound than Dropped. But it's got like, it's still a pop rock song, but I actually kind of really liked it. It had like a more of like an electronic sound almost. Like, you know how like some guitar, you make like a guitar sound more electronic, like more like a computer sounding guitar. I don't really know what I'm trying to say here, but it has that kind of sound.
Nice.
But that Drive On, that was their new single. I definitely recommend it. It's pretty halfway decent song.
I should give them a listen through.
Gideon Graves, drummer for Phantom Planet.
You know, I don't want to say, I'll save my anecdote for later, just in case I'm about to mention something that you have on your list. But we'll move on to my pick number 3. All right. So pick number 3, this is going to be one of those, a popular musician, but did you know that they were an actor/actress, right? And so I've got Frank Sinatra. I was just like researching for this, just trying to find people. And this guy had, everyone knows Frank Sinatra, obviously. This dude had a huge acting career that was like decades long.
I think I knew that. But I had no idea. I couldn't tell you any kind of movie he acted in.
Yeah, so I had to scroll to actually find something that I kind of recognized, because it started in the 30s is when he started his acting career.
Yeah.
So, so he acted in Guys and Dolls, which is a name I had heard, but I couldn't tell you anything about the movie. But in the 1960 Ocean's 11, he's in that as well. Yeah, and then he made it.
Did he like play himself?
No, he didn't play himself. I don't remember exactly who it was, but I'll look that up. But he also made a cameo in Who Framed Roger Rabbit as a voice. He was a voice actor for himself. I guess like he voiced himself, so he must have been an animated Frank Sinatra. Yeah. But he was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is the one I know people would recognize. So I just thought that was pretty interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, all right, let's see here. I've got a cast. So the Ocean's 11 actually had the whole Rat Pack in it, I guess. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly. I don't want to spend the rest of this episode me just scrolling trying to find who he played, but yeah. So those were the few that I recognized. I did. I wrote one down because I was going through his Wikipedia and went to short films that he was in, and it said he also played himself in a short film called Major Bows Amateur Theater of the Air. And Wikipedia's only note on this short film was performed in blackface.
No.
That's the only thing they pulled from that.
Frankie, no.
Yeah, not surprising. But that's the only
Frank
note
Sinatra was he was also like I wouldn't say like an activist, but he had civil rights. Like he got arrested for some sort of civil rights thing. Like I think they weren't trying to let blacks into his theater or something to see his show, and like he like caused the whole thing and got arrested or something like that. Somewhere along those lines.
Well, and he was in the Rat Pack. So he wasn't with Sammy Davis Jr. too. Was one of his good friends.
So I don't it's pretty deep for a Disney movie. But anyways.
Crooning belt.
True. All right. This one I think this might be well known. I guess it rang a bell when I heard about it, but it's more or less news to me. Did you know Keanu Reeves was in a band?
I did know that.
Besides Wild Stallions?
No, I did know that. Or at least I remember hearing about it. I couldn't tell you what kind of music it was.
He is the bassist in a band called Dogstar. And
are they still making music?
They only have one album, came out in 2023, called Somewhere Between the Powerlands and the Palm Trees. And it's like California dad rock. If you know, I don't even want to start just naming off other bands that sound like them, but it's enjoyable music. The only song I took note of was it's a song called Dillon Street. But yeah, it's just imagine like dad rock, but from California. Like surfer rock meets dad rock, I guess is a good way to put it.
Well,
it's good chill. Yeah, it's good chill vibes. Not nearly as good as Wild Stallions, but who can be? They saved the world.
Yeah. Well, technically, their kids.
Their what?
Their kids saved the world, technically.
Well,
in the third one.
That's true. That's true.
So, what did they name their kids in the third?
Oh, yeah. You're asking me to remember that? I don't know.
I was hoping you would remember. Oh, well.
I watched it one time, like 2 years ago.
It's good.
It is a good movie. I was very, very happy with how good that movie was, considering how bad the second one was.
I was very relieved, just them waiting
and
that
how bad
long.
Sequels typically are.
Yeah, especially when they wait this long for it.
The only thing I didn't like is they got Kid Cudi to be in the movie and like had him be like the singer for like the world-saving song, but then he like didn't do anything. It's like he couldn't write like one verse or like just a bar. Like all he did was get up there and go, yeah, everybody, come on, stuff like that. Like you're Kid Cudi,
he's the
bro,
hype man. He's the hype man for saving the world.
Yeah, well, he let me down.
Well, that's interesting. Keanu's out here just doing side quests, bro.
Yeah, he's living that life.
All right, I will slide in.
That was the one that I thought you might have on your list. The other two, I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about the other two as well. Cause, all right, the next one I put on for me. I chose this one for me, but it is Drake Bell, baby.
There you go.
People that know Drake Bell know that he makes music, but probably only know that he did the Drake and Josh theme song. But he's a pretty well-known actor, obviously. Like Drake and Josh was his huge role, but he was also in Home Improvement, is where he got a start as a child actor. And then also, I guess he voiced Timmy Turner in all the Fairly OddParents movies, not shows, but movies.
I did not know that.
And then he was the voice for Spider-Man in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
The Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't know if I know that one.
We definitely watched that when we were kids.
The Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That does not ring any bells at all.
Oh, well, he was. So I actually listened to a good amount of his music because I'm like, well, I've never really listened to his music either. Obviously I Found a Way is a pretty good song by itself. Like outside of Drake and Josh, it's a good song. And then I liked I Know in the end was actually like, I think that one was his first album. So like 2006 or something like that. So
he just performs under the name Drake Bell.
Yeah. Or at least that's his Spotify name. But yeah, it's just under Drake Bell. So I know he's been in some news and some legal trouble and everything here recently.
Well, yeah, all of Nickelodeon has.
Yeah. So, but So
we're not getting into that.
Maybe boycott him. I don't know, but do what you want. But still, I put on there for me because I love Drake and Josh. That was a great show.
Right.
Absolute nonsense, and it was fantastic. So, and Drake was so cool in the show.
He was.
So I guess that's not like gonna be surprising to most people to know that he was also a musician, but he definitely was way more popular as an actor than he was as a musician.
Wasn't he also in the Yours, Mine, and Ours the new one with Dennis Quaid?
Oh, you know, he might have been in that one. Yeah,
I swear he was.
There was a he's in a bunch. I only made note of a couple like popular ones, but let me see. Let's see here. Drake Bell. Yeah, he was indeed in that. He was
one of the mom's kids, I know.
Yeah.
The messy side.
The absolute.
And he was friends with Hawk Nelson, because Hawk Nelson was in that movie, and they played Bring 'Em Out.
The house party. Yeah, I remember that.
I remember watching that movie and be like, "What, a band I know?"
Yeah, but yeah, he was, and Miranda Cosgrove was in it too, which is funny because
Drake and Josh. Yeah, she was.
So we just need Josh. Was Josh Peck in this?
Coward. No, he was not.
That'd be kind of hilarious.
He blew it.
It was. Well, interesting. I totally forgot he was in that. He looks rough now, honestly. Like,
does he?
I don't know. He just kind of looks like he'd be wearing a leather jacket outside a gas station and hitting on high schoolers. That's his vibe now. Is every picture I see of him, I'm like,
that's unfortunate.
He needs to change his hairstyle or something. I don't know. Sorry, Drake Bell. A fan of young you. I don't know if I'm allowed to be a fan of new you, so I'm not. But yeah, so there you go. Maybe a more obvious one, but I took it.
I like it. That's a good one.
Love it. All right. That was my number 4, so I guess you're number 4.
My numero 4 would be...
Whoa.
Now, to be honest, I didn't really know this actress. Like, I didn't know who she was. Like, I recognized her face, but it was kind of a little bit before my time. Her name is Juliette Lewis. She was kind of like just your standard hot girl in a lot of like early 2000s movies.
Yeah,
like before I was only however many years old whenever her movies were coming out. So like I wasn't watching like teen rom-coms or whatever. But she played that standard role.
Yeah, I kind of recognize it. I can only get new photos. I'm only seeing like new photos of her.
Yeah. Like, you recognize the face, though. Like, yeah. It kind of... Like, I was looking through her movies. I didn't really recognize one that I'd seen. But somehow her face still looks familiar. But anyways.
Yeah.
At the same time she was doing movies, she was also in a punk band called Juliet and the Licks. And they only had 2 albums. Yeah. They only had 2 albums that came out in 2004 and 2005. And then they also had a single in 2014. It's not really punk, but it's in that general area. They kind of sound like, to me, they kind of sound like the White Stripes or the Struts. Yeah, I know you've been listening to the Struts a little bit recently.
I have indeed.
So they kind of sound like that, but like you could tell it's from like 2004, 2005. Some of the songs I would recommend, the one I liked that I actually added to my library was You're Speaking My Language. And also, I liked Hot Kiss and Sticky Honey as well. But
Sticky Honey. That was my nickname in high school.
That's true, I remember. But yeah, they, yeah. If you like that era of, like, garage rock, that's Juliet and the Licks, Juliette Lewis.
Dude, that is something that movies told me was going to happen in my life, is that spontaneous garage shows were going to be a thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was supposed to happen all the time.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to find one and just rock out. Like,
Live out that childhood fantasy.
Cool. Yeah, dude. I thought that'd be awesome. But alas, dang noise ordinances.
One thing being raised in the Midwest around all that rock led me to believe was that just spontaneous basement shows would happen all the time.
Yeah.
And I'd be going to basement shows all the time, but I have yet to go to one of those. I'm almost 30.
Yeah, so I guess we need to take it in our own hands and start hosting them and maybe even playing them.
That's true, yeah. I'll throw one on in my basement of my apartment.
When we get 100 subscribers, which I don't know how many subscribers we're at.
Not 100.
When we get 100, we'll have a basement and garage show. It'll be like a music festival, 2 stages going on at the same time, and you can choose which one you want to go to. And it'll just be in the middle of
not a bad
some
idea.
Suburban home. And then when the HOA comes to shut us down, whoever beats them up first wins. And gets to guest star on one of our podcast episodes. So there we go. That would be awesome.
That's not a bad business model right there.
Exactly. I thought, though, like, if you moved in to like a total fixer-upper home, like this thing is, you are going to gut the walls anyways. There's nothing in there you really care about. The night before you start on it, host like an absolute rager, like that kind of party that just has like a, one of those garage bands just rocking out in the living room and just let people go absolutely
nuts.
Nuts.
Skateboarding through the house and spray paint and silly string everywhere. And
pizza on the record player, so we'll have to bring in a record player.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that would be that's what we'll do. So the We Don't Know Toots party will be happening whenever me or Rob buys a fixer-upper. That's bad enough to where we don't care what happens to it.
My friend just bought a fixer-upper like that. Like I've been helping him gut the house and like rebuild everything. So I wish you would have came to me with this idea a month ago.
Yeah, you could have saved time on demo by hosting a sweet party.
I don't know what I was thinking.
All right. Well,
not like a cool kid, apparently.
Yeah, clearly not, you freaking nerds. But interesting pick. I kind of recognize her face. There was like I saw like an older picture of her. I'm like, I know I've seen this face somewhere.
Yeah.
The chin, man.
It's all in the chin.
My final pick. I was really struggling for my 5th pick because I didn't know who or what I wanted to do. So your list is making me feel bad about mine because you really, really deep cutted for your list, and I didn't go as deep for mine. But mine's another one famous for music, but did you know they acted kind of thing. So I don't know if you would know that Rihanna has had quite a hand in actressing as well. Yeah, so I
did not know that.
I found
this out by myself. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen her in something.
Did you watch? It came out in 2012. Battleship.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that was a great movie. First of all, I love alien invasion, zombie, those kind of movies.
Yeah,
but I was like watching that. I'm like,
I barely remember that movie, but yeah, now that you're saying it's Rihanna, I'm like, yeah, that was definitely her.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't recognize her because I'm not used to seeing her as an actress. So I'm like looking at her. I'm like, this chick is super familiar. What do I know her from? And then
did you just watch that recently or something?
No, I watched it a couple years ago. But
fair enough. All right.
The credits popped up, I remember, and I was like, oh, Rihanna, well, what do you know? I feel like a dang boob. But yeah, so she was in Battleship and one of the main characters because she's that weapons specialist chick. She's a super cool character. That ending, I love that movie.
I straight up don't remember it. Like, I hardly remember. I think Liam Neeson might have been in that movie too, right?
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember who like the main
the commander. So So like the whole ending of the movie, what's the song at the end of that? It's
oh no.
Dang it, dude! It's the AC/DC song. That's I've got to look this up.
Back in Black.
No, it's AC/DC.
You Shook Me All Night Long.
No, I gotta find it. Thunderstruck.
Oh, duh, yeah.
So I read somewhere that Thunderstruck is actually the most expensive song to use in a movie, like by far.
What?
It's super expensive to get it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess
just because AC/DC wanted to troll a little bit.
Maybe, but it's such a good song. Every time you see it used, because I think it's used in a Thor movie too. It's used in Battleship.
Oh, it's used in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
it's used in Megamind.
Yeah, it's always like such a good song for that scene.
Yeah.
Like, they made such a good song. I love that song. So I'm so basic when it comes to AC/DC music because like anytime I hear a non-popular one, I'm like, this is not good. But then I hear a popular song and I'm like, this song's still good. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so they use that at the end when they like go at like that old battleship that was a museum. The old guys that are working it, the old war vets that are working it, help them start it up and actually defeat the aliens with the old guys. It's a cool ending. But yeah, so that Thunderstruck song, super expensive apparently. But yeah, so Rihanna's in that. She's one of the 8 in Ocean's 8. So I've got another Ocean's actor. She's the hacker. I never watched that movie. I've never watched any of the Ocean's movies, but I'll start with the Frank Sinatra one. So, and then that Disney, like Pixar movie, the animated one called Home, where like, you'd recognize the
I've never watched it, but I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was
the main character.
She was the kid. No, well, the alien and like the kid, I guess, that's trying to help the alien. She's the kid.
Okay.
So like pretty big parts, it seems like, and then she has a bunch of cameos and stuff like that. So obviously everyone knows Rihanna's music. I don't really need to. She has like that definitely like I think back to like me in junior high school because I listened to her music just to review, and I was like, oh yeah, man, this takes me back to when I was in junior high school, and this is what everyone listened to back when like I'm gonna sound so annoying saying this, but like the music that was on the radio, like there were so many like iconic songs that I'd still listen to today. But like songs that are popular on the radio now are like, and then I would never want to listen to them outside of the radio. So
there's the one that just got really well. There's that Teddy Swim song that got really popular, and then there's whoever sings the Beautiful Things song.
Benson Boone, I have that
song. That song smacks.
That song is a great song. Yes, So I'm not saying all music on the radio sucks.
Yeah,
those songs.
But I was gonna say those are the only two songs. Yeah, those are like the only 2 songs in a long time that I've heard on the radio and been like, I like this.
Stick Season's pretty good.
Oh, is that popular?
Yeah,
I know it's one of his big songs. I didn't know it was like on the radio.
That was like a huge. I guess I don't listen to the radio. It's always just my phone and Spotify. But I mean, that was like such a huge TikTok song, and he's selling out stadiums. I don't know if he is stadiums, but and so that I
like that song.
That's his song.
The song that got me into him was it wasn't Stick Season. It was Dial Drunk, I think is what it was.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was. You know what? Yeah, because you put that into one of our Musically Browns.
Someone did. Yes, I think someone did, but yeah.
Because Post Malone, I just came across it on. He has a version with Post Malone.
Yeah, he does. Yep. And I like the original without Post Malone better.
Yeah. Stick Season, like I saved it to my Shrug Emoji playlist, which is like my listen to later playlist to see if I really like the song. And then didn't listen to that playlist for like months, and then it got super popular on TikTok or Reels if you're an adult. And so so all of a sudden I was hearing it all over on Reels, and I was like, oh, nice. And then I went back and listened to my Shrug Emoji playlist, and I was just like, Stick Season was in there. I was like, oh, look at me, ahead of the curve.
Oh, look at that.
I mean, I probably wasn't really ahead of the curve. I just never really
You got your finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Right.
So, man, that was a rabbit trail for sure. But Rihanna. Music, actress, woman. President.
And what a woman.
So there you go. That's my 5th. I think I've got a pretty good starting lineup here.
That's a good round. Yeah, that's a good round, and there's no overlap because you don't know. I'll tell you in a second, but my last guy is definitely. I knew you would not get this guy.
All right, hit me with it.
So I wouldn't normally be recommending this, but this guy is the reason. Like I was watching. It's Ryan. His name's Ryan Bingham. He's on Yellowstone, which is a banging show. If you've never watched it, it's on Peacock. Watch Yellowstone. It's so good. But he like sings a lot when he's on the show, and so like I just kind of got curious, and I looked him up, and sure enough,
the guy with the acoustic guitar, the criminal.
Yeah. So you've watched it?
Yeah, I've watched a lot of episodes, but just randomly.
Okay, yeah, that show is really good. I love that show.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's him. So I just got curious. I was like, I wonder, does he actually make music? And sure enough, and that's kind of what made me think of this this topic is like actors that aren't as popular that also have, or like the less than obvious actors that have music careers. But yeah, he does like it. I mean, it's definitely country music. It's Yellowstone, so. But he does like the little bit bluesy, little bit cowboy, a little bit twangy kind of. Like his music makes me think of like you're like fishing on a beautiful clear morning on a crystal picture perfect river in like Minnesota. Like that's just what his music sounds like to me.
Yeah.
It's so like if you're, and I have to publicly admit this, I am starting to get into country.
Oh no.
Little by little, man. No, I'll send you my country playlist because there's some good ones.
Knew you moving down to South Carolina would mean I'd have to eventually kill you.
It's it broke me down, bro. Like, so right now my country taste isn't like if there's anything you can line dance to, I really don't like that kind of country. Like put your fingers in your belt and grab your partner and swing them around kind of music. That's not for me. I really like the bluesy stuff.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that rocks. Like a lot of country purists don't like the country music that like rocks out, but that's the kind of stuff I'm into. It's bluesy and rocky country.
I only listen to Jelly Roll.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I couldn't tell you anything about his music. I just know he has tattoos on his face.
Yeah. But yeah, Ryan Bingham does like that bluesy country music pretty good. And
Ryan
some
Bingham,
songs,
that's a country music name too.
that is a name. That's a name.
Is that his
made
actual
for it.
name?
That's his actual real life name. I forget what his name is in the show. I want to say it might be Ryan. No, it's
not Ryan. It's not Jesse, is it?
No, it's like some. I think they call him by his last name. I don't remember. But if you're curious, some words. Some of the songs that I liked from him were Junkie Star, Nobody Knows My Trouble, and Lover Girl. Some like those are really more on like the softer bluesy side. That's like I said, that's the kind of stuff that I like. So
I wonder if he pulls any of them out in the show. Do you know?
I feel like he probably did. I didn't look up the songs he played in the show, but I feel like he had to have been doing his own stuff.
Well, guess it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, there was really no avoiding it. I mean, country music just fits that southern lifestyle, man. It's just the way it is.
I will give you, let me pull up so I have this playlist that I don't really know what the music is, and I feel like I've talked about this on this podcast before, but it's music like one guy I have a lot of his music or a couple of his songs, Danny Worsnop.
Yeah.
So I try and shuffle music. Like I go to Danny Worsnop Radio, and some songs that'll come up in that, I'm like, this feels kind of country. Those kind of songs, like I'll give you that. There are definitely some songs where I can't tell if it's country or not. I like that kind of country. Did you?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. All right.
He played Walker, was the guy's name on the show.
Walker, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, they do just call him Walker. That is a good show.
That's a great show. I love that show.
I've never
on a huge cliffhanger, and I don't know that the show's getting renewed either. So
really, dude, that show's so popular though. It gives like
I know. I don't know why they stopped.
It's like these 40-year-old white guys who have office jobs love that show because they're like, this makes me feel like a man watching this show.
Dude,
like
I'm telling you, like it made me wish I was a cowboy. I was like, I really just want to put on a cowboy hat and get up at 4 a.m. and herd cattle, bro. Like
and
this,
do some
that
street
just
justice,
appeals to me
but
for
in
some
the
reason.
country. Yeah, some mountain justice.
It's like Sons of Anarchy, but horses instead of motorcycles.
Dude, yeah, it is. Fantastic. Yeah, so I did not. I guess I'll give his music a little listen if I start falling down that country But
dude,
I'm still at the point in my life
I'll send. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm at the point in my life where if I think it's country, I skip it because I'm too scared to like it.
Yeah. I'll send you my country playlist. It's not really that big. There's like 10 songs maybe. Okay. But I remember someone played the Tennessee Whiskey song in one of our music league rounds, and I don't think you liked that one, but that's the kind of music that I like.
There was, I didn't like the Tennessee Whiskey, but there was another, man, it was last, I'm not going to be able to find out what it is, but there was one last, man, I don't want to sit here and bumble over my words trying to remember what it was, but there was one that I couldn't tell if it was country or not, that someone else, I think you played it.
Was it Creeps?
No.
Because I also like that Southern rock, like Koe Wetzel's got a lot of good songs. Like some people would probably call him country, some people would probably call him Southern rock.
I'm gonna go to your country music playlist right now.
I don't know if it's even on my profile, to be honest.
Unbelievable.
I'll send it to you. Chill.
Okay. Yeah. But there was one that was played in there that was verging on country that I really wanted to like, but I had it in my shrug emoji playlist, but then I didn't list. I removed it because I couldn't.
See, that's the thing about music, man. You just gotta like we were saying earlier. Like there are Taylor Swift songs that you can like. You don't have to dislike it.
I know, but country was always the one that universally everyone agreed.
Yeah, everyone's supposed to hate country.
So I know. Let me see here. If I just got your playlist. No, darn it. I'll text you later when I find it. I'm gonna find it though. But well, so you had a nice spread of music genres in your playlist for sure.
In the list that we just went over?
Yeah, in your list you just went over.
Yeah, we had some well-rounded lists today, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I liked you had some deep cuts. I guess I didn't research as deep as you did though, because every list I was looking for just for like inspiration. Like I pulled the Cindy Lou Who, I pulled that myself. I pulled Will Smith myself because A, that was an easy one, and B, he is one of maybe my favorite actor. And
really?
C, and then I pulled, dude's got mad range, dude.
Oh, he's an incredible actor. I guess I don't know who my favorite actor would be, but
yeah, I was just like, I forget what movie I was watching. I can see why you'd say Will Smith. It was like a year or two ago, I was watching a Will Smith movie, and then I watched another one, and I was like, this was like a hilarious movie, and then it went to like a super good, serious movie. I'm like, this guy's got mad range, and I consistently like the movies he's in, so.
What movie?
I don't know. I mean, I can't remember what funny movie.
Was it Hitch?
It might have been like Bad Boys, and then I switched to like
Bad Boys.
And then like he switched to like one where it's like, what's the stockbroker one?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's got the range for sure.
Yeah. So, but well, we're closing in on that time mark. Did you vote in the music league so I can use my song?
I did. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Fantastic. Okay, so my song in there was "Supernatural" by Barnes Courtney.
Really? All right.
How many points did you?
I was not what I was gonna guess. I thought you were the American base or the modern football one, or American football. I just combined two bands twice, but yeah, I thought yours was gonna be. Really? Okay. Yeah, I thought that was. I
think that's the one I didn't.
I'm trying to remember how many points I gave that one. I liked it.
Oh, well, yeah. So, excuse me. Like how I've been listening to music recently is I just let like you can go to the bottom of playlists on Spotify and it just has a bunch of suggested songs. So I've been like shuffling those because I just want to find new music that I like, and I've been getting a lot of Barnes Courtney. I'd never even heard of them. Neither did I until like 3 weeks ago. I heard the first song I heard by him on my way. Like I was coming back from Nashville, and so I was just shuffling music, and his music came up. I think this wasn't the first one I had from him, but I won't tell you what the second one is because I might use it.
Well, if I think you're probably the only person that knows Barnes Courtney. So if I see another Barnes Courtney song show up,
So Hellfire is the other one I had. It was the first one I heard, but this Supernatural is my favorite one I've heard by him so far, and I haven't even given him like a discography listen or anything. I just get a ton of his music in my shuffle, and I like most of his music. So I definitely
I liked it. It was a good song.
Yeah, you should go and just listen to like his top hits or something, because he's got a lot of good music.
I'll check him out.
Yeah, that little where it's just like starts off with like a real chill intro, and then it hits that first damn it, and then drops into the chorus. I love that little guitar intro. So Supernatural, Barnes Courtney.
Good choice. All right, mine. I've told you and I've told everybody that I'm really getting into Greta Van Fleet. Like that, I don't know why I slept on them for so. Like I'd known their music for a long time, but I never really tried to listen to them. But I'm really getting into Greta Van Fleet, and I know you put their album from last year in like your top albums of the year from 2023.
End of last year, I really got into them.
Yeah, their music is just so good. Like they really are like a 60s or 70s rock band in today's time. It's just they're fantastic. And the song that I'm going to recommend is Heat Above, which I think you know that one as well. But that song is that. Honestly, all their songs are great. It's hard to pick one to recommend, but Heat Above, I've been jamming a lot.
Another solid pick. I feel good about our picks today. Feel good about these two songs. So
we crushed it.
Let us know, people. Let us know who had the best 5-band musician lineup, first of all. But also let us know how you felt about our 2 picks. So
because I thought they were fantastic.
And argue with us about Taylor Swift, because I love arguing with strangers on the internet, especially Swifties,
and I
feel like that has to be an easy win.
Yeah, I love arguing with 13-year-old girls. It's like the easiest argument to win for me.
Just makes
it's the only argument I can win.
Makes me feel like a big man.
Big man arguing with a Swiftie.
Well, Rob, great work on your list today. I appreciate the deep dive and the research you put into it. Very good. So
hey, I appreciate the pretty reckless recommendation, because that's one that every time I hear Heaven Knows, I'm always the guy that's like, did you know that Cindy Lou Who? Yeah. And everyone's like, yes, you've told me.
Oh, dude.
So yeah,
I was gonna say
that was a good pick.
I was gonna make the joke, the honorary pick, Dwayne Johnson for his rap. It's about drive. It's about power. We stay humble. We devour.
That was Dwayne Johnson? I thought that was Shaq. Oh, that was Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, that's right.
Shaq was like getting into like DJing for a little. I kept seeing videos of him DJing.
Oh, he's been a DJ. I almost saw him a while back, because there's that dubstep festival in Ohio every year called Lost Lands.
Yeah.
And a while ago, back when I was going to a lot of concerts, and my buddy was going to a lot of concerts, he wanted to go to that, and he was like, well, I got some stuff going on today, but like, short notice, like if I say let's go to Lost Lands, you want to? And I was like, yeah, dude. And Shaq was going to be performing that day, so I almost went and saw him, but then for whatever reason we didn't go. But
that would have been funny.
Yeah, that would have been cool. It would have been cool. Just like, I don't even know what any of his music sounds like. It would have just been cool to go see Shaq do a DJ set.
Yeah, just say you seen Shaq.
DJ Diesel.
One of my all-time favorite celebrities, Shaq. He's so good.
Dude, I'd love to meet him. He seems so cool.
Yeah.
And I know a guy that has met him, and his stories and like anybody else's, they just make it sound like he's the coolest person in the world. Like he's super friendly.
Yeah.
Like, it would be cool to meet Shaq.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. Some hot, good amount of music recommendations, guys. If you consider yourself true fans of music, we just gave you, especially Rob gave you a lot of new artists some real underground music to listen to. So
yeah, dive on in there.
Especially me with Rihanna, some real underground artists.
Yeah, there's some that's a name you don't hear very often.
Yeah, like it'll click once you see her face. You're like, oh yeah, she makes music.
Yeah, you can be like, okay, yeah, I remember her.
Oh, the Ocean's 8
I remember her from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no way. So, oh yeah. All right. Well, catch you guys later. Thanks for listening, tutors.
I'll see ya.